Telus is one of 3 major phone carriers in Canada. It's basically a monopoly in Canada. We don't have much options for who to go with for our phone provider. I'm going to tell you how they scam me and how it's currently going, but this video is part of a much larger issue of shitty customer service from large companies.
You just heard the first of many swear words that I will not be editing out of this video because I think it's part of the anger and energy of the video. So fair warning, there's a lot of swearing in this video because I'm very angry, so don't comment saying there's a lot of swear words because I just warned you. Now just sit back. You don't even have to look at my face. Just put your phone on the black screen and listen to this terrible customer service story.
And medium companies, and you typically don't see it with small companies because they're a small company. They have to provide you good service and good customer service. This is really just more of a corporate thing of shit customer service that's unfucking usable and drives you insane, and they can just walk all over you and no one seems to be giving a shit or doing anything about it. Okay, all right. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to tell you my story. As I said, I'm in Canada. We have 3 major phone carriers across the entire country. Okay, we have Bell, Rogers, and Telus, and they're all the same. They're all the same. There's no real competition. They all have their lower, shittier carriers like Virgin, Fido, and Kudo, and other sub-carriers, but they're all part of the main 3. Back in January of 2024, this is 1 year ago, okay? We had a business plan with Telus. It was a small business. We had like 8 lines, I think, with Telus, and we just noticed basically our bill was just going up and up and up, and it was expensive. Like we had like $1,000 phone bills for 8 phones. We basically said, fuck this, we're gonna shop around a little bit, and the redheaded stepchild of the Canadian carriers, Freedom Mobile, had a really good deal. So January 2024, we left Telus. Now, when you leave a carrier, there's whatever. There's always bullshit fees. Early cancellation fee. I think we were maybe midway through a contract or something, but now it's more so about the device balances. So we had a couple device balances. This is normal. Most of the time when you go to a mobile carrier and I want the new iPhone, well, these things are like $2,500 now. So you finance it through the carrier, you pay it off over 2-3 years, whatever you work out. But when you leave that carrier, you have to pay the remaining balance, which we did. So again, January 2024, we leave Telus and pay off our device balances. We had a couple phones financed for a total bill of $3,600. Then we started with Freedom. Okay, we were with Freedom for like a week. It was awful, but that's beside the point. It works for some people, that's fine. So 2 weeks after I leave Telus, their retention department calls me back. They're like, hey, I noticed that you left Telus. We want you back. We're gonna offer you a really, really good deal to come back to Telus. I liked what they had to offer. Our bill was like 75% reduced from what we were previously paying with Telus. Side note, I had called them before I left Telus and asked if they could do any better deals, and they said no. So I'm like, okay, fuck you, and I left. So I went through all this gyration to get a better deal, just for them to call me after I left and went through all that goddamn hassle to give me a better deal. But whatever. So he mails me new SIM cards and we sign up for the new deal, right? There's no balances at this point. We're all using the existing phones that we have. We paid off those balances. In fact, between that, I went to the Apple store and bought the newest iPhone in cash out of my own money. And everything's fine so far. So you get it. So we leave Telus, we go to Freedom, we come back to Telus, all balances are paid off, everything's good. And we're good for like months. Come September 2024, I have Bell as an internet provider for my home. I want to bundle my internet, TV, phone, and everything. They said they could do a better deal if I bring my phones over to Bell. At this point, my wife needed a new phone, so I was going to finance a new phone through Bell, and that's exactly what I did. So I canceled the 2 lines for me and my wife that were on Telus and brought them over to Bell under my own personal plan, just 2 lines gone. That was a whole clusterfuck too. Bell, you suck ass. Everything is horrible. Why are carriers so terrible? But that's another story. So I take those 2 lines, now I'm on Bell. Next month, our Telus bill is something like $1,600 because of a device balance I had to pay off for removing those 2 lines. So they had said, yeah, you had a remaining device balance and we're going to charge that to you. Now, you may be thinking, Josh, you just said you paid off all the balances back in January. Will you be correct? $1,600. They just kind of fabricated it in thin air. You know what? I think the bill was like $240 or something like that. So I think they owed me like, let's call it $1,200. $1,200 they fabricated these, the device balance that I had to cancel. These device balances were paid off in January. So I'm like, oh God. Anytime this happens with a phone company, I think most people, I don't think I'm just speaking for Canadians. I mean, look, I'm not insane here. Customer service sucks everywhere. Everyone has horrible stories of customer service. But anytime I specifically have to call a phone carrier, I know I'm in for a doozy. I know I'm going to be on hold for fucking hours, and they're not gonna listen, and it's probably outsourced to somewhere that doesn't speak fucking English, and they're not gonna understand, and the call's probably gonna get disconnected. I already had all these expectations because I've gone through issues with phone providers before, and generally just customer service. I think this is what we all expect from over the phone customer service. I tried chatting with them on the website, right? And all the chat is bullshit. The chat is a lie. Don't waste your time with the online chat. It's a lie. If they have to do any real changes, you're going to have to call them or they're going to have to call you. So just do me a favor and don't waste your time with online chat. I chatted Telus, they're like, oh, we got to call you. So I'm like, okay, call me. So I set up a callback, right? And rather than waiting on the hold for the next customer service, they can call you back, which is a great feature, right? So I set that up, and I'm in my account portal doing this. So they call me, I'm giving them my account number and my phone number, and they're like, nope, nothing's showing up. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm looking at my bill. I have the account number in front of me. You're telling me you can't find my Telus account with the account number that's on my Telus account? Like, I'm logged in. What are you talking about? The guy's like, I have no idea. We have no idea. He can't find any of the numbers. He can't find my account number. Has no idea my name. Like, nothing. Like, nothing. I'm like, you called me back through the thing that I set up on your website. That's how this all started. I can't even tell him about the issue because he can't even find my account with the account number that's on my account. So he's like, okay, I'll call you back. I'm like, okay, let me know, whatever. Just here's my number, call me back. Okay, place your bets now. Did he call me back? Of course he didn't call me back. I went back on the chat, set up a new call. They're like, oh, all our reps are full for the day. We're going to have to call you back tomorrow. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. So whatever. They set up a call. They call me back tomorrow. So she calls me and I give her my account number. She found it this time, but it's like, oh, you're part of a business plan. We have to have our business department call you. I'm like, well, I set up the call through my account that I'm logged into. I only have one account. So you should detect that it's a business account. She's like, yeah, sorry, and then you're just going to have to wait on hold for the business account. So this is the first time I'm really on hold here for a long time. I'm on hold for 45 minutes waiting to get a hold of somebody from the business account. So whatever, I finally get a hold of somebody on the business account, log in, give him my account information, and he finds it. And then now I got to explain to this guy who doesn't speak English as a first language. And it's one of those, like, it's probably an Indian call center that's outsourced to, because I can hear 50 other people in the background. I can barely hear him. He's on some microphone that was made in 1992. And I'm trying to explain to this guy how Telus, like, charged me device balances back in January. Like, whatever. It's a simple thing, but, like, just trying to relay that over the phone to some, no offense, but some inexperienced customer service clerk that they don't know shit. Right? They're mostly there to, like, troubleshoot really easy things. I'm like, no, I need a significant amount of money refunded to my, give me cash, give me credits. I don't care. Just get me my money back somehow. I'm actually going to make a clarification. I just said get my money back, but actually up until this point, I hadn't paid my bill. My bill wasn't due yet. I'm just trying to get this removed from my bill. So when I pay my bill, it's the amount that it should be, right? I hadn't actually gave them any money yet, but that time was quickly approaching. And he's like, okay, so I'm on the phone with this guy forever. And he's like, well, okay, so this is a billing issue. I'm like, dude, I've been on the phone with you for half an hour. Yes, it's a billing issue. He's like, oh, well, I gotta put you on the phone with somebody from billing. Oh, I'm like, well, you knew it was a billing issue. I said billing issue. What do you mean you gotta transfer me? So whatever, transfers me to billing. Gotta wait on hold again. Gotta wait on hold. So I wait on hold for another 43 minutes. So I explained to this guy for like 10 or 15 minutes what my issue was before he told me I had to go to billing. I was already on hold for 45 minutes, plus another 43 minutes on hold, and I got to restart. So I get somebody from billing. Now I got to restart my story. So I explain the whole thing. Okay, I paid off my device balances in January. You can see the bill. And blah, 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 blah. Again, same thing. Loud environment, can barely understand what they're saying. The microphone's from 1992. Whatever, she was nice enough. She's like, okay, can I put you on hold? And, let me just look into it. I got to look at your bills and let me just do some math here. I'll look into it. Let me put you on hold. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm like, okay. Puts me on hold to their lovely on-hold music, because these companies will refuse to spend $1 on a decent song to play on hold. They won't spend $1. And the call disconnects. Now you may be thinking, okay, they should call you back, right? Well, of course they're not going to call me back. Look how much time's left in this video. Think they called me back? No, I had to call again. The customer service. Wait on hold for another 17 minutes. which was way better than the first 45. I got to the billing department, then I had to explain myself again to a new person, also on an equally shitty microphone, because there's no good microphones that exist within this goddamn company, and start the whole thing over again. I paid off my device balances in January, and I whatever. Then I got charged when I canceled. I had to explain the whole thing again. She's like, okay, no problem. Let me put you on hold. I'm like, wait. The last person said that. Can you just do it while I'm on the phone with you? She's like, okay, no problem. So I'm waiting, and it's just this awkward silence. And I made sure at this point to give her my callback number. I'm like, if this phone disconnects, I have full bars right now. I'm not even going to touch my phone. I put it on speaker and placed it on my desk so I can't accidentally hang up. If it disconnects, please call me back at this number. So she gets back to me after a long time, and she's like, yeah, I see you paid back these device balances back in January. I'm like, thank God she just recognized that. And then she says to me, well, I can't really do anything about it. I need to have you speak to a manager that can actually handle the issue. I'm like, why would you put me on the phone with someone that can't handle my issue? Why would you set me up for failure from the beginning? So she's like, okay, well, our managers are busy right now. I'm going to have to transfer you to them. Right? She's going to have to transfer the call to her manager, which means I'm on hold again going to their manager. And I'm so stupid. What I assumed would happen is that she would have filled in the manager by the time I spoke to the manager. They would already be familiar with my issue because this lady who I was talking to would have taken notes and said, hey, here's his issue. Can you deal with it? No. I had to wait on hold for another 25 minutes to speak to a manager. And they pick up the phone like, hey, can I help you? And I had to start my whole goddamn story all over again. And I asked, I'm like, she didn't fill you in? She didn't take any notes or anything? Like, I got to start from scratch? I'm like, are you a manager? She's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean you're not a manager? She just said she was transferring me to the manager. She's like, no, this is the billing department. I'm not making this up at all. And I swear to God, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is like, we're 5% done. I'm not going to go through every single thing. I realize it's going to be repetitive because it's all the same shit, but I'm not even kidding. This is 5% into this whole journey so far. So I had to explain to this person the whole thing and how they were going to transfer me to the manager. Okay, I realize this is getting repetitive and I don't want this to be that boring, even though it's a relatively boring story of poor customer service. But anyway, I finally get a hold of a manager after many more attempts and calls. And I finally get someone to say, yep, it was a screw up, which was a big deal for me. I'm like, okay, thank God. A manager reviewed it. She's like, yeah, screwed up. I'm going to transfer this to billing right away. We're going to refund you. And I had to go through all the numbers and we had to break it down. And then at this point, this is the big issue, was that my bill was coming due, right? And these companies send stuff to collections real quickly and it goes on your credit report. And I was actually in the process of redoing my mortgage at this time. So I didn't want any hits on my credit report, right? So the time is ticking to get this done. And this is a big issue. And this leads to my first fatal flaw, which was paying my bill. My time was due. I had to pay my bill. The manager said they were going to call me back with an update. They didn't. I had to pay my bill. So I paid the $1,600. And I've been paying for it ever since. That was my first flaw. But I felt cornered because I was in the process of redoing my mortgage. I couldn't take a hit on my credit. Everyone knows that these companies will just send stuff to collections immediately, right? I'm not saying that necessarily would have been the case, but it does show on your credit report late payments and stuff like that. And I couldn't do it. It could have cost me real money when I'm redoing my mortgage. And all of a sudden I got this $1,600 bill that's late or not paid. I can't risk that. My point is I paid my bill. Good God, was that a mistake? Up until this point, I was just trying to get the money removed, right? To get the money back. I actually didn't pay them, right? It was just my bill. I'm just trying to get this removed from my bill. And I fucking paid the goddamn bill because I didn't want to go on my credit and I didn't want it to fuck up my mortgage. And now they have my money. Now I have to try to get back the money that they have. That was my biggest mistake in this whole thing, was giving them my money. I feel like if I just didn't pay them, they would have had to contact me repeatedly and I would have got something done a lot sooner. So the manager never called me back. So I had to call again. I'm gonna blast through this, okay? And then I'll give you the total hours that I spent on this. The manager never called me back. Call again, go through all the same gyration, reach a manager. They again, for the second time, a different manager says, yep, there was something wrong. We're gonna have to have our billing team look at this and we'll get back to you. I'm like, okay, this time I learned my lesson. Can you put that in writing? So I get them to send me an email. They're like, yeah, we owe them this amount, whatever. Nothing ever happens. Third time, get to a manager again. Have a third manager say, yep, there was something wrong with the billing. I'm like, okay. I explained to them that the last 2 times nothing happened. So this person actually on the phone goes through, gets the billing thing done, and they're like, yeah, okay, we sent the refund. We agreed on the amount. It was about $1,200 or so. I'm rounding, but it was $1,200. I'm like, okay, great. She's like, yep, it's going to show up in your next bill. I'm like, thank God. Can you put that in an email? She's like, yeah, no problem. I'll send that to you right now. I hang up the phone, never get an email. Thank God I got my refund. Except it wasn't the right amount. It was $332 less than what it should have been that we agreed upon, and we all did the math together, and we all figured this out together on what I should be refunded, and they just pulled some number out of their ass and refunded me like $900. It was like $870 something instead of the $1,200 that they owed me. Why? I still don't know. It's January now. This is months ago that this happened. I have to call them again. Right? I reply to the emails that the managers or whoever I was talking with sent me. I get no replies. So I have to call Telus again, explain to them. Now it's even more complicated, right? I have to explain to them that I paid up my balances, and then they charged me the balances, and then I got refunded part of the balance, but I'm still missing part. Now just my story is even more complicated, which just try relaying that to somebody over the phone. Again, same shit, same person in a room with 50 other people, doesn't speak English, microphone from 1962, same thing, right? Call them again. Guy's like, okay, I'll have to get back to you. I'm like, no, just do it on the phone. He's like, well, I got to send it to a manager. There's no manager here right now. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Can you email me? Like, are you actually going to call me back? I had to I did every failsafe I could. I got his name. I got his information. I gave him my number. I had him email me on the phone. He did email me saying, yep, you're owed this $332. He did say that. He went over all the numbers himself. He's like, I'm going to have a manager look at this like tomorrow. I'm like, okay, whatever. Put that in writing. Never hear anything back. Reply to the email the next day. Never hear anything. Send him another email the next day, literally just saying, why are you ignoring me? How could you possibly ignore me? Nothing back. Now I have to call again. Go through all the same crap. Same thing. Same exact thing I just said. Can we just put that clip here and fast forward? Get another email. Nothing happens. I send Telus an email on their website saying, explaining the whole issue, laying out the whole timeline. No reply. 3 different times in this new process that I'm going through trying to get my $332 back. I call them. I'm on hold for over an hour. The call disconnects while I'm on hold after an hour. 3 different times that happened, which is 3 hours. No callback, no nothing. No one's replied to my email. No one cares. No one gets back to me. At this point, to get my remaining $332, I have contacted Telus 14 times on the phone. I've had 8 different people verify the numbers I'm talking about, and no one will do anything about it. No one will get back to me. Every time they say they're going to get back to me, they don't. And I know what's happening here. Like, some of the people are just like lazy fucking shitty workers that just like, okay, I'm going to get back to you. And they just get you off the phone just so they don't have to deal with it. Because it's a little bit of a complex situation at this point, right? So they just lie to your face and say, yeah, we'll have someone call you back. And they don't. Just, you got to go and go fuck yourself and call back and spend all this time doing this, right? They just, don't talk to me right now. I don't want to deal with it. You can call back. Screw you. Okay. So you get the point. At this point now, I've logged this. I've spent over 33 hours on the phone with people trying to get this figured out. 33 hours. 33 hours I've been on the phone to try to get my money back. And now I'll finally get to the point on how I got my $332 back. I didn't. I don't have my money back. They still have my $332. My next bill is due, and they still have my $332, and I don't know what to do. No one will get back to me. I will blow my brains out if I have to call again. I just did it the other day. Guess what? 47 minutes into the phone call, the phone drops. No one calls me back. I literally don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't get anyone to reply to me. I can't get anything done. They have my money and they agree. I've had many managers look at it, billing departments. Yes, we shouldn't have charged you those phantom device fees. We owe you that money. Yes, we're going to do it. And they won't even get back to me. They stopped. I actually don't know what to do. If anyone has any ideas on what I should do now, besides call again from scratch and try to explain it to some asshole on the phone from scratch again, like that doesn't work. Emails don't work. Phone calls don't work. Talking to managers don't work. Talking to the billing people doesn't work. At this point, what I have to do now, which sucks, but I got all my other stuff figured out with my mortgage, I'm going to just not pay my bill. I think that's what I have to do. Like, I have to not pay my next bill, wait for them to call me, wait for them to harass me. I think that's literally the only way to get their attention, is to not pay my bill. Now, telcos, telecommunication companies, have notoriously horrible customer service, but this is not unique to telcos. There's literally, I know everyone watching this has thousands that they can produce themselves. Everybody knows customer service sucks ass. Everybody knows this. And I'm proposing that it's purposeful, because customer service, once they have your money, companies don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. Why would they? Like, customer service costs a company money to provide good customer service, right? They got to provide training. They got to hire staff. They have to buy fucking microphones that work. They don't care about that. They have your money. They just want to get your money, so they have your money. That's it. It's not something that makes them money. Offering good customer service, in the short term at least, is not something that makes a company money. Yes, long term. Why would a company, I can't even be mad at them. Why? If I'm a monopoly, and there's only 3 companies you can go to, why would I care about customer service? Why would I give a fuck? I can't even be mad at them, but it's a systematic problem here of these companies screwing you and getting you to be trained to, here's what I think it is. I think they want to offer customer service so bad, you don't even call. When they fuck up your bill, you just take it up the ass and just fuck it, I'll pay it because I'll never get it back. And they don't even want you to call. I truly think that is part of their business plan, because what else, why wouldn't it be? And this was the case for like a long time. Like, bad customer service is nothing new. Oh my God, and then COVID happened? COVID amplified everything to the extreme. COVID made customer service 10 times worse than it already was. And now you got people cutting budgets, and customer service is one of the first to go, because again, it doesn't really make you money in the short term. And then people are working from home, and they have a shit microphone, and they're not being managed. There's not being supervised. This is the problem from working from home. I'm not against working from home. I know people get very sensitive about that. I personally think it's bullshit, but this is part of the problem. When people aren't managed, they just fuck you, go somewhere else. I don't care. It degrades customer service even more than it already was. I was going to give tons of examples of customer service. I was going to put some news articles on bad customer service and talk about that. But why? Why would I do that? It's a waste of time. Everybody watching this video, every single adult at least, and probably child now at this point, if you're a teenager, you've had more than your share of bad customer service, but every person watching this knows that customer service is shit everywhere. We have to band together. We have to stop giving these companies our money until we demand better customer service. There are examples out there. There is hope. Have you ever dealt with Amazon's customer service? Fucking incredible. At least from my experience, it's incredible. I have something that is damaged shipping, no problem. I get a refund right away. Now I don't even need to mail it back. I can just bring it back to like a Staples near me, and then I get my refund instantly. Amazing. No hassle, no nothing. The chat actually works. There are examples of customer service being phenomenal. Apple is another great example. I had an issue with Apple last year. I forget exactly what it was, but I called them. They had recognized my phone number. They knew exactly who I was. They had verified my identity with some easy means through my phone. They had every device I'd ever purchased there, and they're like, what device are you calling about? Is it your MacBook? Is it this? They had everything there. I needed a repair done. They had everything, like everything was prepaid, and bring it here, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It was really amazing. So the technology exists. As consumers, we literally need to get together and protest shit customer service. Oh, God. Okay, anyway, I'm so sorry. This is how we start the new year. I don't want to start the new year like this at all, but give me your customer service stories. I would love to hear. Let's email me. Go to my website, email me. Reply, put a comment in, let me know your horror stories. I want to know. I want to take a stand. I want to start a goddamn movement to improve customer service because it's so fucking bad. I'm calm. Happy New Year, folks. Welcome back to Fraud Squad. New episodes every 2 weeks. I'm getting off my ass. I'm doing shit. I had some other work to do, but it's fine. I'm back every 2 weeks now. Good episodes. They won't all be rants like this. Thank you. Let me know your stories in the bottom. Oh, sorry. I'm running a sale on fraudsquad.shop. Okay? Fraudsquad.shop. I'm running a sale. I got a bunch of shirts that I just want to get rid of. I think I'm going to move to like a drop shipping thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm figuring out what I'm going to do with the merch on this channel, but I need to get rid of the inventory I have. So I'm running a massive sale on fraudsquad.shop. I'm making these shirts as cheap as I can possibly offer them. So go buy, support the channel. It supports me. I'm down $332, so, you know, that's at least a couple shirts. I mean, at the rate I'm selling, I'm going to need to sell 1,000 shirts to make up $332, okay? So you do the math on that. Anyway, goodbye. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.